Good morning, brothers and sisters, and happy Sunday to you. I hope you had a pleasant weekend. The theme we are going to develop this morning is entitled The Secret of Trials. The Secret of Trials. A secret is what is only known to a limited number of people. It is what is or what must be hidden from the general public. A trial, for its part, is a test, an examination. It is the action of experiencing something or someone. It is the experience we have of something to overcome. Trials are inevitable as long as we live on earth. And whatever our beliefs, our convictions, we are all confronted with the reality of harsh trials. However, the most important thing is to understand the meaning, the essence, and the scope of each test, of each trials in our life, in order to improve and move forward. For us children, if we want to overcome trials, we must not consider them as calamities. We must not fall into despondency, into despair. We must not give access to the enemy to take advantage of our ignorance, because the greater our faith, the more difficult the trials, the more difficult the test of faith will be to overcome. We children of God must change our way of acting, our understanding, our way of approaching things each time we are faced with the disappearance of a loved one, each time we are faced with a serious illness, a disability, each time we are faced with emotional injury, poverty, divorce, loss of job, etc. It is essential for us children of God to have the keys to overcome the world's trials, because we'll always be tested, and therefore it's essential for us to take advantage of the different trials that mark our existence, in order to be able to live in peace with ourselves. It is an integral part of life, and when it is present in our life, the best thing is to put everything in the hands of God and patiently await events in calm and abandonment to our Almighty God's will, seeing that when we are weak on the physical level, on the earthly level, it is then that we are strong on the spiritual level. It is then that we are strong in God. And he or she who abandons himself to the will of God in the face of tribulations, in the face of trials, ceases to fight, to escape suffering at all costs. Moreover, the scripture states in Matthew 11, from verse 28 to verse 29, "Come to me, all you who are tired and burdened, and I will give you rest." Rest and fullness of happiness is found exclusively in God. The secret to overcome every trial lies in our ability to rest in God, the one who is at the end of his hope, the one who is at the end of his rope, who is overwhelmed by problems, who is invaded by dark thoughts, fulfills the conditions, the criteria to enter God's rest from the moment that person requests God's presence, by relying on his omnipotence, by abandoning him, himself, and allowing the Almighty to console and comfort him. God knows how to refine each of us through love, and the trials we go through reveals both our weaknesses and strengths. And being a child of God does not make us immune to trials and tribulations. On the contrary, illnesses, suffering, rejection, death are pure parts of God's plan, because everything contributes to the good of those who love God. Trials play a very important role in forming the children of God that we are. The trials produce in us some traits of the suffering life of our King of Glory, Yeshua Mashiach, when he was on the cross of Calvary. The trials encourage us to endure the test of faith, to acquire patience. The scriptures affirms in 2 Corinthians 4, verse 17 to 18, "Our light tribulation of a moment works for us in superabundant measure an eternal weight of glory." We children of God, our faith is not blind and does not focus on what is visible, on what is ephemeral and fleeting, but our faith focuses on what is invisible, because visible realities are fleeting and invisible realities are eternal. Our God's plan. He plans everything in our life for his glory, and everything works together for the good of those who love God. Everything good or bad that happened to us has a purpose, and everything has happened in our life. Everything that has happened in our life is already written. And most of the time, the trials help us to reconnect with God, to better dispose ourselves to enter and live in constant, perpetual prayer and meditation. Trials lead us to depend on God, to spend time in his presence. Trials lead us to put on a new armor, a divine armor, because our God has perfect knowledge, not only of what we go through, of what we say, but also of our thoughts. He searches and discerns everything that is in our heart. God knows everything. Trials test us. They demonstrate our true nature. They push us to perseverance, patience, and submission to the sovereignty of God. Brothers and sisters, adversity is part of God's plan to test our faith. God gives us weakness so that we are humble, so that we gain experience. In a simple way, all trials have their reason of being. And if we accept them while resting in God, then it will be easier and more favorable for us to reign and to gain maturity and to understand that these trials are beneficial. Each ordeal allows us to draw morals, to receive signals, to learn lessons. Each trials allows us to question ourselves and better understand the omnipotence of God. Happy Sunday and good start to the week. This is the theme we had to share this morning. Thanks.